Hi, everybody. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Sunday, July 25th. Has this month flown by or what? I know I say that a lot, and they say there is evidence that as you get older, time goes much faster. And I agree. It's like I thought by the time I retired, I'd be bored. I thought I'd be bored, but guess what? Never. So let's see who is here. We have got Kathleen Champ. Hi, Marsha Florum. Hi, sweetie. Laura, so good to see you. And our dear Sonia. Gosh, I love our Sonia. Kathy Klein, great seeing you, hon. And so, good. We don't have a whole lot of people here yet, so I can finish working on a little something. Hold on just a second. You know I have to wear my glasses now. The good news is the cataract is coming along. The absence of the cataract is coming along really well. But I tell you what, I just in 6 months not having to wear reading glasses, I forgot how to do it. So I'm trying to learn. Hi, Miss Inger. How are you? Miss Inger, we would love to have photos of maybe your nature outings or anything like that, because I was thinking we love learning anything we can about Norway, all of your different countries. We really do love that. So feel free to send me some more photos. Today, I've got a different kind of jewelry idea. And it's also a quilt embellishment because, this year, hi, Miss Linda. This year, I'm all about embellishments. What can I do to embellish these quilts? So, and I was hoping I would see Susan. I'd like to give her some credit while she's here. But I just wanted to say that yesterday we had another Jitsi. It was our third group sew-in of the month. And I want to thank Susan. Susan and Bonnie are wonderful, but Susan puts a lot of effort into keeping us all together and finding fun things for us. So I just want to say, if she can't make it today, hopefully she'll see this and know how much we really appreciate her. We're so lucky to have Susan and so lucky to have our Miss Bonnie. So anyway, all right. So today, what I'm working, oh no, I was gathering up my scraps because yesterday during the group sew-in, I worked on, I hope the needle comes with it. I worked on the Crumb Quilt. And so right before we got ready to go on, I'm like grabbing up all my stuff really fast, trying to get it out of the way to get ready for I came down here to work on this stuff and the time flew by. All of a sudden, I'm looking at the clock and it's 10 minutes to 3 and I'm like, oh no. So, is Pat here? Oh, Pat, it's so good to see you. Vicki Robles is here. It is so good. I have missed my Pat. Hi. So anyway, sorry, that was bothering me and it would keep bothering me the whole show. Sometimes I have a hard time ignoring certain things. All right. So today, I thought I would do another jewelry item, okay? And this is something I made 5-6 years ago, and I wear it at Christmas time. You can kind of tell because it's probably dusty and it's a little all scrunchy. It's been through the wash. You're not supposed to wash them, but sometimes you forget to take it off a shirt. So let me pull y'all in a little bit. Yeah, Pat is in the house. I love it. This is a ruched pen. Ruche is a French word, and it means to gather. And this is a gathered fabric pin. And so I did the ruching and then sewed it together, put a pin back on it. I think these are called a tack or bar tack pins. Then I took some gold beads and decorated it with gold beads. So today I'm going to start you on some ruching and give you some good information, but then I'm going to go back over the Dorset buttons that we did last week, and then I'll show you, hopefully I have my woven beads, and then today we're also going to talk about this crumb quilt, which is so easy to put together. I'm really happy with it because I've got to tell you, the more blocks I make, I've made 8 now, I think. The more blocks I've made, the more value I see in doing a scrappy quilt because I'm finding fabrics that I used for different things. And you know what? Any fabric I want to put in there is good. This is going to be just have fun, just an easy crumb product. So, oh, Pat, were you ill? Did I miss something, sweetheart? Oh, no. I didn't know that. Sorry, darling. So also, if you see Alberta in here, I think, you know how when you write somebody an email and they click reply? Well, if you have entered your email in your computer, in your email program, if you've entered the reply email in incorrectly, then that's what happens when I hit reply. And so she's missing me, and I'm worried that she's thinking I'm not responding, and that is not true. I am responding. So let me know. I'm going to drop the shade over here, and hold on just a second. All right. Come on. There we go. Okay. It was a little bit bright coming in there, and I don't know whether I'm getting a cold or whether I was looking through family photos, trying to find photos of you of my time at the museum. I didn't have a lot of luck. I realized I didn't take a lot of pictures of things I made because I was so busy. Trying to get these costumes on people. I just, and back then we had to use real cameras and develop real film. Wasn't good at that either. So, but I do have a few things to show you, and just mostly of my family in costume because, that was definitely important for me to show. So we've got a good number of things to do, and then I'm going to show you the progress of the Misty Woodland quilt that we're doing on Thursday nights. And I hope to get out the last of the prize packages this week. And I think I've got everyone's address. I think I do. Charlene Lawson is here. Hi, sweetie. So, Linda, it's looking like Susan is maybe not going to be here today. Would you consider being today's moderator? I'm having a problem, and I'll tell you about it. When I could read without glasses, it was very easy for me to see the comments and who was here and all of that. Well, now, since I can't see the screen, I can see it, but it's blurry without my glasses. I miss a lot of things. So if you have a question for me, write your question in all capital letters. That way, if I see capital letters, I'll say, it's important. Somebody's trying to talk to me. And just so you know, I love that y'all chat with each other on here. It never bothers me. I had somebody kind of comment that so many people were chatting, they thought it was rude. No, it's not. This is y'all's chance to have a virtual quilting bee. And so I want you to have your chats. I love your relationships, your friendships that have formed on here. So go ahead and chat all you want. If you have questions or something you need to get my attention about, try to type it in all capitals. And you know what? If it's an important question and I don't see it right away, ask it a bunch of times. Y'all chime in and help them. Susan is so busy. Thank you, Linda. She's facing a deadline of just in the next few days. So I have a feeling she's very busy. Plus, she did 3 of our sit and stitch. And if you haven't joined in on that, I highly recommend it. You sit and do your sewing or your handwork or whatever, and you chat. And the nicest thing is you don't have to type because it's all voice activated. And so it's nice. At first, it was a little tricky for me because I'm so used to doing all the talking. And I realized I can just come and relax. I don't have to talk. And that's nice because I can actually get some sewing done. So that's really nice. My sewing machine is still in the shop. I called Friday. It's been back in there over a week. Called and they said they're waiting for some kind of scissor assembly to come in. So I have no idea, but that's my favorite sewing machine and I want it dearly. So if they keep taking too long, if I didn't have a new refrigerator to buy coming up, I would buy a new sewing machine. Don't tell. I didn't say that out loud. But anyway, so I'm crossing my fingers. They get the parts right now. I know you've heard about the ships, and the shipping is all a mess. And this pandemic really messed everybody up and the whole world. And so a lot of items aren't being shipped like they're supposed to. And so it's like the refrigerator brand that we want is not available yet because there was a lag time and it's hard to get certain parts. And oh my gosh. Oh, you came down with the flu. I am so sorry. Uh-oh. You've had a grandchild the last 4 weeks. Oh, that's wonderful. I love how you are such an active grandmother. You are feeling better. Good. Oh, string beads for a boho curtain. Now that's maybe what I can do because I had Pat over the other day. We had the best time sewing and I showed her my gallon bags worth of paper beads and she said, what are you going to do with those? Which is a very reasonable question. But I'm not reasonable. I just kind of go with my heart and spirit. And I told her, I don't know. But I'll come up with something, I'm sure. But I just love making them. And even, maybe I'll give them away to kids' art classes and make necklaces out of them. I don't know, but I'm going to work on that. But it's good for me to have something that keeps me busy. Oh my gosh, if I sit and try to watch TV without something to keep my hands busy, my knee jiggles, I talk, I have to be careful now when I go to the movies because I'm so used to talking or, nodding along or commenting with the television show that it could be embarrassing. All right. So now I'm going to show you a little bit about how to make ruching. Very easy. And it's another wonderful thing. That is so wonderful that she shares those kids. And you know what? The kids are the true beneficiaries of that. That's going to make their life so rich. And I didn't have that growing up. I never got to go stay with grandparents, and I miss that. So, all right, you ready? Oh, you jiggle your knee too? Yes. Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah, and guys, I have a hard time sometimes paying attention. So for me to work, I know it saves Mark and my relationship. So as long as I have something to work on while we're watching TV, then I will sit still. Okay, let me see. I don't know. Well, let me put my glasses back on. That helps. Okay. I'm trying to see where my thread's going because sometimes when I set stuff down, you never know. Okay, let's see. All right, I think I got it untwisted. All right, so this is called ruching. Let me spell it. Ruching. And it, like I said, it's a French word. Oh no, honey, I'm so sorry. Your husband is in the hospital. Ouch. Ruching is Ruching, and it's a French term. It is being a nana. Okay, so what I did now, this ruching that I'm showing you is kind of big because I wanted it to be seen easily. And you know me, I kind of like if it's supposed to be this size, then bigger is better and more and all of that stuff. So what you do is, let me get this set up. Okay, let me get my ruler set up. These rulers are for right-handed people, and I'm left-handed. I resent that. Now, you can use any kind of marking pen that you want, or you can use a bit of a chalk marker, and I'll have both of these. All right, now the first thing I did was I cut a piece of fabric. Now this one's a little bit big. I would cut it maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And then you fold each side in until you get the width you want. And you can do that with these wonderful tools that I ended up buying recently. Or you can use the Clover bias tape maker, okay? Or let's say you don't have any of those. Just lay the fabric down, fold this, fold that, and iron it. Or another way, which I think is so smart, is to put a pin on your ironing surface, and you'll have it come up like this. This end will be under, this end will be under, and you can kind of pull it through here and iron. So there's all kinds of ways to make a folded trim. And these are just on the straight of grain. They're not on the bias or anything, just straight of grain, okay? So now I have all 3 of these. And I'm going to show you on this one, after you've got it triple folded, and you can bring the edges together just right, or you can just plop them over. It doesn't matter because it's not going to show. This is just something for fun. This is not serious stuff. All right. I've got my little cutting mat and I've got the ruler. And what you're going to do, let me try to zoom in a little. What you're going to do is you're going to look at the ruler and you're going to mark 1 inch. On this side, you're going to mark 1 inch all the way down. On this other side, you're going to mark the 1/2 inch. So both sides are 1 inch apart. It's just they alternate. See how they alternate? So this you put there, and then this one again, you go to, okay, the 1/2 inch mark. Now I'm going to do it now with the yellow chalk, so that maybe you can even see that better. So it's just every inch on one side, mark it, put a mark every inch. And you know, when you put a mark on this side, you're not going to see it. So you can use whatever marker that you can see better, okay? All right, so you see the little yellow chalk things? And then remember to go across and do it to 1/2. And, you know, that's how, having the ruler, it's easy to see where the markings are. And so you just go along and you have alternating marks. Okay? So that's how you prepare. And think about this. You can make flowers for quilts. Ruching was used a lot on Ruching was used a whole lot on Baltimore album quilts. So when they wanted to show a flower, now let me get my camera up without hurting it. I told Mark I've been trying to be a really good girl with the camera. Now let me zoom out. Whoop, no, we don't want to see that. Okay, so you take a strip of fabric, you double fold it over, and you don't have to worry about the raw edges of the fabric because it's not going to be an issue at all. You take a nice piece of strong thread. Now, it doesn't have to be super strong thread, but definitely something, cotton poly blend, something, or even hand quilting thread, but you don't want it too thick because then it's going to make it hard for it to pull the gathers. And if you don't have a strong thread, you could use a double it up. So let me now show you what you're going to do next. All right. I need to bring the camera back down. Hello. Okay. How do you get the link for the Jitsi? You have to belong to our group's IO. Then the day of the Jitsi, you go into the group's IO, and Susan has an email that says today's Jitsi, and it has a link. And you click on the link, boom, up it pops, and you just say join the meeting, and from there they'll help. Hi, Alberta. Alberta, I think you are not getting my emails. I have emailed you every time you emailed me. I've answered back, and I've sent you the patterns several times. So what I want you to do, Alberta, not on here, okay, Alberta, but what I want you to do is I want you to type in your email address in the email you send me, because I think what's happened is when I hit reply, you don't get it. So what I'm thinking is somehow it's gotten messed up in your email, and one of your kids or somebody would have to try to straighten it out for you. But what I want you to do is type in your email address in the email, not just let it automatically come up. Because if one little letter is wrong, you can't get my emails. But please, Alberta, I have emailed you every time back, I promise. And I would never want you to think I'm ignoring you. If any of you have sent me emails and you don't get a response, something has gone wrong, because I'm really good at responding to emails. So send me another one. Don't give up on me. Tell me on here that, hey, I'm not able to reach you. But Kathy Klein, I'm pretty sure you do belong to our group. We've had like 3 new members this week. And once I know who you are, a little bit about you, I'll be glad to send you an invitation. And anytime you want to send me pictures or reach me, here is my email address. And like I said, I'm pretty good with, let me put my glasses on. I'm pretty good with emails. That's the best way to reach me. Hello, Barbara's here. Barbara's one of the new members I was talking about that joined this week. I've got a hair hanging here. I don't know where it is. It was bothering me. So anyway, but if you need to send me pictures you'd like for us to share on our Sunday Lives, or if you want to join our group, you have to tell me a little bit about you so I remember who you are. And then, or if you want one of my free patterns that I'm offering. Okay, guys? So, okay, I'm going to get ready, turn the camera down, and don't forget, like I said, I have photos of me working at the museum to show you in just a wee bit. In fact, here's one. I'll give you a little. This is my daughter when she was young, and she's working at the chopping block, cutting up something. And this would have been at the spray plantation that we were representing. We would get into costume for special events. So that's my little daughter. And now she's almost 40 years old. Oh, gosh. So this was a long time ago, okay? All right. So now I'll turn the camera down and show you more of this ruching, and then we'll move on today. All right. Let's see. Okay. And remind me, when I finish showing you how to do the ruching, I have a great site to send you to. Because I know, whoops, now this thread got, oh, how in the world? Did I accidentally cut the thread or what? All right, hold on. This is what happens when I use too long of a piece of thread. How many of us were told never to have a thread longer than 18 inches? They knew what they were talking about. So this got a pretty good knot in it. So I'll cut the knot. I'm going to try to resect it. It may not work. But this is the best way. If you are trying to put a thread back together and you don't want to have too big of a knot that would get in the way, you lay them together, you twist the thread over the other twice, because that really holds the knot. Okay, then you do one more. Just do one this time. Make sure it goes all the way through. And then you pull, let me get them right, and you pull the little knot together. Now, this will hold pretty good, and it doesn't make a very obtrusive knot. Because, you know, if you just knot them any old way, well, then it's going to get hung up every time. And it still might get a little hung up this way. I want to make sure I pull it nice and snug. But I do this when my thread breaks in my sewing machine and I don't want to rethread it again. So let's see if it'll work. All right, so now, remember, we have our markings on here. Let me see. Is this? Yeah. Okay. So here, whoops. Oh, that one's not working right. Let me get a tailor's chalk, piece of tailor's chalk, because I want you to really be able to see what I'm doing. Okay? I tell you what, I sure do love tailor's chalk. I use it so much. I was teaching my granddaughter how to use it the other day. Don't let me forget to tell you what my granddaughter and I are working on. But see how this tailor's chalk leaves such a definite marking? You won't forget that soon. Now, you can use a Sharpie if you want. You can use an ink pen. You can use a pencil, because it's not going to show. This is the inside. But I wanted you to be able to see. See the markings? And it's an inch apart each side. And you see how you alternate it? So, okay. And it's really nice to take the time to do that, because you want a nice, even, uniform ruching. All right, so I've got a thread in that pretty much matches the fabric. I need to blow my nose again. Hold on. Oh, goodness gracious. I hope this is just allergies from looking through dusty photo albums. I hope it's not a cold. I really liked, during the pandemic, not being sick. That was really nice. Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm right over here. And what I'm going to do is come over the edge. Every time you get near one of the sides, you come over the edge, come underneath, because you want to make sure that when you gather it up, let me make sure my thread's all in the right place. Hold on. I think it's underneath. I was worried about that. Come back through here. All right, let me get it set up. I've always wondered, how does thread get so tangled when you just merely lay it down on the table? All right. Okay. That patching knot actually worked, so we'll cross our fingers it'll keep working. All right. I got to have my fan over here. Whew. It's warm coming in that window. I don't like this 90-plus degree weather. All right. So now I've got my thread. I make sure my thread's all straight. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rub it down with some beeswax. My knot came apart. Okay. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm going to put beeswax on here. I have to. I got to retie this knot so you'll get to see it again. When I pulled it through the wax, okay, just make sure it has to go. You wind this around the thread twice. Then you take and, whoops, and the twice is the important part because that's what really holds it. Except when you try to go through beeswax. All right. So let me make one more loop. One more loop and pull it through. Come on. Okay, here we go. All right. You know, when you feel like you're getting a cold or you've got your allergies bothering you, it's hard to do anything. It's like your eyes water, you can't see as good, your nose runs. So, okay, now I'm going to just trim those edges off. Let's go back to this. All right, so like I told you, you're going to take and run your thread over this edge, and that's so that you really are going to be able to get a good gathering. Now, see how you take big stitches? If you take a bunch of tiny stitches, then you might end up getting kind of, instead of getting a nice full fold like that, you might get tiny little pointy folds. So take just like 3 big stitches across at the angle. Okay. That knot's trying to go through, so let me baby it through just a touch. Okay, let's see. Yep, it worked. It came through, so let's see. All right, so I've taken 3 stitches at that angle. Okay, now I'm going to come and go over that edge. Remember, you want to go over, come under, and stitch up to the next mark, taking 3 big stitches. Okay? Come over to the next mark. Let me try to tease that knot through. Now, so that I wouldn't have to worry about a knot, if I wasn't doing this on the camera, I probably would have taken it out and done it over again with a new thread. But I don't want to lose all this progress. So now what I do is I go over this edge and come up underneath and go to this mark. So I'm doing 1, do like 3 stitches. This. Okay. 3 stitches, then go over the edge and do 3 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, and over. Tease the knot through. Okay. Oh, we love that being a supportive group. Thank you, guys. Now, every couple of inches, don't wait until the end to do the ruching, the gathering. Every couple of inches, go ahead and gently gather this up. If you wait too long, then your thread is more likely to break because you have to gently but firmly gather up this fabric. And because you go over the edge like that, sometimes it's a little tricky to get it gathered. But the reason you go over the edge is to make sure you've got a firm connection point right there. It makes the gather look that much prettier. Okay, so you just have to kind of just gently tease it down the thread. So if you decide you want to use a doubled over thread, you go ahead. That I wouldn't blame you at all because, you know, I'm dealing with a 36-inch piece of fabric here, and you would really hate it to break partway through, wouldn't you? So here isn't that beautiful? Now, you see ruching on wedding gowns and fancy dresses. You can make flowers with ruching. They're all different things you can do with ruching. You can ruche parts of a blouse or a sleeve, top of a sleeve on a blouse. And it's just a beautiful way of gathering fabric, okay? Oh, thank you, Vicki, sweetheart. So, yep, this is going to be a ruched flower. And I don't have a quilt ready to put it on, so I'm going to make this into a pin that I can wear. Because lately I've been talking about how can we use fabric in our sewing to make jewelry or embellishments. And so that's where we're going with this. All right. So I keep making, and I had wanted to have more of this done so I could show you, but I ran out of time today. I spent too much time looking for photos, and Mark said, hon, don't get lost looking at those photos. You better get ready for your show. And of course he was right. But I wanted to do both, and it's hard to do both in the time we have on this earth, let me tell you. All right. So this got a little knotted up, and I think that if I didn't have that knot, I would really wax this more firmly. Oh, come on. Every time I try to show y'all stuff like this on camera, I have problems with knots, and it's hard. I'm doing everything a little bit backwards, so I apologize, but just stick with me. I want to take the time to show you correctly. Now, I would only gather the ruching once I've done a couple of inches. If you try to keep it gathered the whole way, you're just going to make yourself crazy. Now, in this stitch, I'm coming through the back side so that when I start the next stitch, I'll have already rounded that edge, and then when I make the actual stitch, it'll all be fine. Where did this knot just come from? Okay, come on, little knot. Please don't give me a fit. Okay, I bet you if Bonnie were doing this, it wouldn't give her a fit. I bet you she's good with stuff like this. So, come on. Oh, yay. Okay, we got it. We got it. All right. Now, pull it the rest of the way through. All right. Now I've already gone underneath with that stitch. So I'm coming back around the top, and I'm going to make, so you're just stitching in a zigzag pattern with big stitches. So you want a nice full ruching, a nice, soft, gentle one. So now I'm going to pick up this other side and start back over the other way. Okay, now this is going to be the last sequence of sewing, so I think I've got enough ruched that I can kind of show you what it's going to look like when you're done. So here, I'm going to go ahead and come over to this side so I can grab, I know I have that edge good. Whoops, now my thread just broke, so it's a good thing I was stopping there. All right. I think if I were going to do this on camera again, I would use a double thread because, or at least a little bit newer thread. All right, so I have enough ruched here. What you're going to do is just going to kind of fold that neatly, and I'm going to put it behind. Okay, and that'll give me a little bit of a base, okay? Tuck it behind there, and if I want, I can take a little pin and kind of hold it in place, okay, and just start rolling this around. And what I will do is then just take little tucks to sew the layers together. Just take little tucks. And with this one, I'm going to do something interesting. I picked a coordinating fabric, and I'm going to, probably in the center, I'm going to ruche this up and make it the center of this flower, and then have the darker part go around. So this is going to be a two-tone. Bye-bye, Vicky, hon. Hope he feels better too. Yes. So here we go. This is how you do ruching. So now when you see this one, this was probably a 36-inch piece. It made a large size pin. And then I just wanted to show you, as long as you can get the bead over the needle, you can use any kind of beads you want to decorate it. And some of these might be really pretty on that teal, or it could be silver, or these small silver and gold. Anything you wish that you think would work on the teal. So wooden beads, doesn't matter. And you can make all kinds of pins. And this is a fun thing. These silvers, actually, oh, look at that. Wouldn't they be beautiful on the teal? I forget about silver and teal. It's really special. And I've got all different kinds of, So this is another fun thing you can do when you're sitting around at night. Oh, look at these. I've got some teal and gold. So, anything you want to do. By next week, I'm going to have several types ready for you to see. But remember, this can be used as an embellishment on a quilt, or you can make pins or gifts, anything you would like. It could be a necklace if you put it on a chain. But this is called ruching. It's been around for hundreds of years, and it's been an embellishment on clothing and quilts and any kind of embroidery. So I think this one's going to make a very interesting ruching. And then I can really, I haven't even decided yet whether I want to use a fancy button for the center. You could make polymer clay beads that match the fabric. And beautiful to add to a pin cushion. Exactly. Like I have this decorated pin cushion. That could be a ruched flower. So there's just so many things you can add these to. So people who make those postcards, now you won't be able to send it in the mail, but if you hand it to the person, you could have a ruched flower on a mug rug or a postcard or whatever. So it's just an interesting way to use, another way to use fabric. I did want to tell you, I starch my fabric, but that shouldn't surprise you because I starch it just about for everything. But that way, when you press it, it holds together so nice, and press it both sides so that you've got a nice, you don't have to fight the fold as you're working on it. So come next week, I'll have a bunch of ruched things to show you. And if you have a narrow strip of fabric, you can make something very special. And I just wanted to show you my tailor's chalk that I talk about, good old Clover's tailor's chalk. And I love it. I love it. And I keep it, when I'm not using it, I keep it in the tissue. I don't want the humidity to bother it. And then I keep it in the box and I put it in the drawer. And these run about $2 to $2.50 a piece, and they're wonderful. All right. Here are the tapestry needles that I'd used. I've got some fun things. I even put in an order for more rings. I'm having the most fun making those, and so I was able to find an Etsy shop, and for just like $4 or $5 a package, I think $4 a package, I got some more rings coming, some bigger ones too. So I'm excited to turn these into something special. Here is probably the one I'm most excited about. I used a variegated thread, and it was a nice heavy variegated thread. And is that the cutest? And that's what the back looks like. And here's the front. Look at this one. I made this for my daughter, cobalt blue is her favorite color. So I'm going to put a pin back, a bar tack pin on that, and that way she'll have that. Then I still haven't finished this one. I was working on this on the show last week, but look at this. I took a thicker DMC floss. It's just one strand. I took one strand of blue and one strand of red and put them together. And isn't that the cutest? Look at that. So I'm really excited about these. And let me see. Remember I told you last week, I said I forgot to bring the blue one down that I had almost finished? Well, there it is. Now, when I first started making these, I had a problem getting that in the center. But it's just a matter of working and practicing on it until you get it in the center. Here is a pink one I made. You see, that was probably the first one I made. You can just see it's way off. Then I did this one with a cotton yarn, thick enough that it would be like for crochet or knitting. And I think I like the more delicate yarns myself. Now, let's see. Oops. I don't. Oh, here it is. Okay. I worked some more on finishing this button, but I haven't gotten that far. I looked up when I found a really good site for the Dorset buttons. She also had something about the woven buttons. And so I found that I've been putting too many wraps on the button, and it makes it much, much harder. So I'm going to pay attention to that. But here are two that are completely finished, and you can make them as small as you can see them. These were large and easy to work on and easy for you to see what I've done. But here again is this woven, and I love this because it's made of metallic DMC floss that I've had for a few years and never knew what to do with it. And so you just go over and under each section. Over and under, over and under. But as you can see with my metallic floss, it's starting to wear a little. So I think if I did this metallic floss again, I would use a much shorter piece. So, and if you go to join the pieces, let's say you had to put a new string in, you can't make a knot. You're just going to have to find a way to weave it through and hope it gets snug enough. But I have found that this is starting to wear and fray. But anyway, okay. So, whoops, let me go back under. This one little thread got in the wrong place. But, any metallics can be a little more persnickety, and I understand that. It's hard getting that kind of fiber. Okay. So now I'll go back. I go over this one. That includes that. Under this one. And it would make it a lot easier and faster if I didn't do so many wraps, so that I'll have to try to do another one and do less wraps. All right. And it's just a matter of going over this one and under this one. And you just keep doing this until you can't do any more. And there's another variation I have seen that I'm going to do for you. And it gives a knobbier button. This kind, it gives a smoother button. But there's another way to do it that instead of just going over and under, you do a kind of complete wrap around one of those threads. And it leaves a ridge. And I've seen some of those, so I want to do some of that too. But anyway, this is pretty simple, just over and under, over and under. All right. So that way you get to see a little bit more, and it's quite pretty. So if you ever had a special outfit, like you were making a really beautiful Mother of the Bride dress, a small these buttons in matching threads or metallics could look really pretty. You could actually use these. All right, so let me put these away now, but come back next week because I love blinging up the Dorset buttons. And I haven't even gotten to the ones yet where they turn them into baskets, and that's exciting. So let me put this aside. All right, there we go. I hope I used the right thing. All right, so now okay. All right, I want to give you, let me type in really quickly the address of the woman with the wonderful ruching site. And please tell her that you saw this on our site. And because I really appreciate everyone who cares enough to spend time on YouTube teaching us how to do these things. I really do. They're very good people, and they're keeping alive arts that would be lost otherwise. All right, so she's on YouTube. And let me see, youtube.com/watch V equals OB AS 5 EVLC and large Y. Okay, let me click on that. And the woman's name is Jamie Davis. And she is a doll baby, and her teaching methods are really good. She has 3 entire videos on how to make ruched flowers. So please check her out. She's wonderful. And then with the Dorset buttons, in case you forgot, you can look up Gina B. Let me see. Books. Silkworks. And she does all kinds of the old domestic and even commercial arts like that. So Gina B. Silkworks does the Dorset buttons. They had a sheet of antique Dorset buttons, and I would have loved to have bid on them. But what am I going to do with them? But I love they're on a paper card, and it's like, oh, how neat. But anyway, all right. So now I don't really know if there's that much to talk about on these. They go together really fast. I really enjoy it. I like the fact that you can do, I'll show you during our photo time today, there are so many ways, depending on how you turn them. There's so many patterns that you can set up. And I have to be honest, I love the fact that I'm using up scraps from other quilts. Brings back some memories, so that's fun. Yes, yes. So, and then here, this is my, there were, I took advantage of some of my scraps that were already, these were strip sets from quilt projects. And so I said, well, hey, that works for me. So anytime that I could find some of those strip sets, I used them. But I've got like little scraps from Jenny Beyer, all these things that I have worked on. And being paper pieced, it's so easy to do. I have strips like this cut out for the white you see. Then I have triangles cut out of the neutral that I wanted to use. And it's just so much fun. Here is a scrap that came from our undersea water quilt. So it's like revisiting quilts I've already made while I'm making a new one. And I love just the crumb quilting. They can be any size. None of it has to meet. So, and I save my little scraps for the edges, for the little corner pieces, and then my longer pieces go in the middle. So what fun. Okay. All right. That is good. Oh, let me just show you real quick. There, another woman, I saw her on Quilting Arts, and that's where I first learned about Dorset buttons. And her name is Catherine Bradford, and she has a website. And you can hire her to come speak to your group. And she has been on a couple episodes of Quilting Arts, but look at some of her interesting buttons. I haven't even gotten into like making baskets in the center of them. So she has a website that you can go visit and get an idea of some of her things. All right. The other exciting things before we go to the photos, the other exciting thing is that my granddaughter and I are working on an outfit of hers. And she is very talented, has a real eye for design, and she designed an outfit she wanted to make. And so I love encouraging any creativity in my grandkids. And so, oh, wouldn't they? In fact, you know what? Oh, I forgot to tell you this. My daughter's, hi, Kim. I didn't see Kim come in. Hi, I wonder who else I've missed. I apologize if I didn't see you come in. I've been telling everybody that I have to get used to putting glasses on, so I miss more than when I could see the screen without the glasses. But she is designing outfits. And so I said, hey, do you want to take your design and we can recreate it? And so I might consider getting a mannequin for us to work on. I want to see how much she wants to keep up with this. So I'm going to get ready and show you the design when I show you the photos. But what I wanted to tell you is, see the long sleeve dress? Just remember this when you look at her design. What I did, I told her, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So we find a pattern that has as many of the basics of your design, and then we use that and just add and alter it. And so just remember this pattern, especially this full skirt. And when you see what she designed, you'll see. So I am teaching her how to sew garments. So much fun to be able to pass that along. When my kids were little, I made all their clothes. I even made them a winter coat. Never did that again. Oh, thank you, Miss Kim. It's a lot of fun. And so she's making it black with red lace strips going down the side. And they're going to be over top the black fabric. But it's going to look like an insert. But anyway, I remembered that somebody had given me packs of soutache trim that date to at least the 1960s. So we're talking how many, 50 some years ago. I went and found those puppies, and they're real narrow. I mean, little over 1/8 of an inch. And I said, you're going to have to sew these on by hand. But she's edging the collar, the epaulettes, her belt with that soutache trim. And it was so exciting. I've been holding on to it I know I was given it 30 years ago, and I've been holding on to it. I knew that one day I'd use it. And so that was fun. All right, let's see. But don't forget that if you too would like to have my pattern for the Crumb Quilt, I just made it in EQ. I will happily send it and the pattern choices and all of that. I'll be glad to send it to you. So just go. Oh, Michelle, it's so good seeing you, sweetie. So my granddaughter too, she, like a lot of young teenage girls, is having a real problem during the pandemic and the thought of going back to school in person. And I thought, if we can make a really awesome outfit that she designed, it might give her some good confidence for going back. Okay, so if you want any of my free patterns, our time to quilt. Oh, you did get it, Alberta. Yay, hon. Okay, I was worried because I am very good about responding back to people. But there is my email address again. And if you want a copy of the pattern or you want to share pictures of stuff you're working on, or if I've recognized your name and you'd like to join our group, let me know through that email. All right. So now I'm going to, what was I getting ready to do? Feeling like I have a cold or an allergy is getting in the way of my brain today. So, I know what I was going to show you. When I get back from showing you the photos, I want to show you our Misty Woodland art quilt that we do on Thursday nights. So don't let me forget that. All righty. Let me turn off this light. And then let's go. I've got brand new photos for some of you and Susan's garden. Ooh, I can't wait to show you. All right. All righty. All right. Now, and after I show you everyone else's, I want to show all of your photos first. Then I'll show you some of the photos from the time when I worked at St. Mary's City, Maryland, the museum, the birthplace of Maryland. All right, let me bring up. Okay, and I just want to say too, I'd love some new photos. So if you can take photos of something you're working on or of your garden, please send them to me. I love showing them. We love our show and tell. This was Alexis's latest. Hoyt, I think, or Hoist is its name. And I love how she embellished with all kinds of little beads. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Alexis, but we love seeing what you're working on. Miss Bonnie started back work on, now I've forgotten the name of this quilt, but I love it. I love all the rainbow-like colors. And doesn't crisp white look so nice? It really sets off colors. That's one thing I wanted to make sure I designed in the Crumb quilt, because the white sets it off. Now she's taking and putting on butterfly buttons on the quilt. That should look really beautiful. The way to go, Miss Bonnie. Okay, now let's see what else. I think I did have a few things to show you. Just miscellaneous family things. What is, my daughter, her stripy tomatoes ripened. She's so excited about her tomatoes. And then she is into this, my oldest daughter, who's restarting her life, is really into paint by numbers. And she loves binge watching Netflix shows and doing paint by numbers. And boy, these are different kits than they used to be when I was growing up. They're really amazing. And here is my granddaughter, and I gave her that shawl. I said, you're going to have to untangle it. She goes, no, I love the tangles. So there she is. And let me see. Then this is another paint by number that my daughter did. I'm like, man, these are sure different. Okay, let me turn this. This is the outfit that my granddaughter designed. And so you can see how using a shirtwaist dress pattern, especially one with a full skirt, will work. The only thing we had to do, and I still am going to work out, in fact, you might be able to help me. Okay, so I added a piece of pattern tissue to bring, instead of having it straight up the middle, to bring it over and have come down. She wants to put these large steampunk kind of buttons on, but I think they're too big to actually use as buttons. I think that it would just, they're at least 1 inch or bigger, and I think it's going to mess up the look. So I'm thinking of using a good sew-in snap under the button and on the other side of the dress. And maybe you have some suggestions. But she's got epaulettes on the shoulders and a very defined collar. And then I love how that she echoed the red in the sleeve. And so I think this is going to be a really cute outfit. And so far we've made the belt, we've made the collar, the epaulettes, and so she's coming over tomorrow, and we're going to see how much more we can get put together. But I think it's going to be really, really cute. And I love when I see they've got some talent. I love jumping in with that and supporting that. Okay, what else? Oh, my daughter took a walk through downtown Lexington with her poodle, Polly. And Polly is not a fan of the fiberglass pigs they have. Lexington, North Carolina is barbecue city, so they have these decorated pigs all through the downtown. But Polly's saying, I really would rather not be sitting beside that, but I'm such a good girl. So that's my Polly, my granddog. Okay. Then my daughter Katie grew these. They're called dragon's tongue beans. And they're really pretty, and she was hoping they'd be exotic. She said, no, they just taste like beans, but they're really tender. She thought they were really good. But it's fun to grow different varieties of things. And I put this in. My daughter Katie sent us this. I put it in because I remember having to hang clothes out, and mostly as a child, and then I remember going along each item, taking it, folding it, dropping it down into the basket. And the laundry smelled so sweet because it had been hanging out in the air, in the sunshine. And there are times I miss it. There are times I miss it a lot. Now, I didn't miss it in the wintertime or when it's too hot, but there's something very pleasing and satisfying about hanging out a load of laundry. So, Katie, I hope you don't mind me showing this, but it just brought back some good memories. Now, don't ask me about the time that I was noticing as a child. I was about 6 or 7, and the towels were frozen on the line, and I went and kind of smacked it, because it was funny to see a towel that was stiff as a board. Unfortunately, because it was frozen, it broke in half. My mother was furious. That was one of her good towels I just broke. You never thought you could break a towel. And then here is my daughter. This is the one that was in that scene in her costume when she was little. This is her foster kitten. And that's a great way when you're kind of feeling that baby animal longing. Think of doing fostering, but you have to promise yourself you're not going to keep it no matter what. I failed sometimes at fostering animals, so I know. But those are the pictures from me. Now let's go back and see what else we have. Diana Wright. We've got some great photos from Diana Wright, who had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Diana. So here is these. She has customer quilts. She does the most exquisite quilting and piecing in quilts. She'll make the whole quilt for you. But she's very talented, and she's down in Texas. And so here she had to make quilts for twins. So there's Christian's quilt, and here is Liam's quilt. And I think that is so sweet. Okay. And then for her birthday, I think it was her husband sent her some Sherry's berries. And luckily they arrived in pretty good shape. So that is really nice. Because in Texas, it's scary to send something like that in the middle of summer. But they look lovely. And here is the box just in case you want to remember where to get that luscious dessert. So, okay. Then she has been working on a cute little penguin quilt. And she now has it on the frame. It's a good sign when you get to put it on the frame because you know the end is in sight. What a cute, cute little quilt. All right. And here is another shot of one of the twins' baby quilts. So, so sweet. And here is, oh my goodness, it looks like she's totally completed it already. She's something else. I tell you what, I don't think she sleeps. I think she works all the time and probably just puts herself on charge in a special closet, charges her battery back up, and out she goes again. She is something else. Very talented lady. Look at that. That's so sweet. I know the parents of those twins are going to really appreciate that. And, oh, look at this. I don't know what that is, but she used the leftover fabric to make something for them. That is so sweet. Might be a burp cloth. I'm not sure. And here, oh my gosh, she's already got it bound. I told you she never sleeps. Look at that. That is so cute. And I love all the little plaids. That is so sweet. Very nice. Way to go, Miss Diana. We love our Diana. Okay. Jeannie. Here is Jeannie with her brand new finger ring pen cushion. She's such a sweetheart. I love our Jeannie. And then one more time to look at her wonderful Scrabble quilt with the names of her family members. Isn't that wonderful? What a brilliant idea. Way to go, Miss Jeannie. All right. Then, oh my gosh, are you ready? You know that our Miss Jody is doing a series. She's doing a series of silhouette quilts. And here is the Wolfman. Here's a scene from, oh gosh, hold on, Alice in Wonderland. Here is Dracula. This, my all-time favorite, Mr. Frankie, and then The Bride of Frankenstein. This woman is so talented. I hope you will join me in encouraging her to go national, because look at her creature from the Black Lagoon. This is my second favorite. Isn't that amazing? I cannot tell you how many tiny little pieces of fabric she cuts out for this, but it is splendid. Way to go, Miss Jody. I am just in awe. I can't wait to see what she's going to work on next. She's so talented. I love that. Okay. So wasn't that exciting? I couldn't wait to show it to you. Miss Linda, here are some of her beautiful creations. The older I get, the more I love this stuff, because it's like bits from the past. Look at this photo that was put on fabric. I mean, just little pieces of lace, buttons, things I recognize from childhood, and they make wonderful little gifts. So you're so talented, Miss Linda, a true artist. So, and in fact, you know what? I bet you that's why I'm enjoying doing all of this handwork, because you've inspired me. We have a brand new member named Lisa, from Lisa and Kevin, and here are some of the beautiful things that she's been working on, and I love it. I love the fact, too, the thought of using bits of lace and stuff, things you have around, because instead of having them in a drawer where nobody sees them, build up a quilt and put all of those things like Linda does, and that way you get to enjoy them. They become part of your life, not just something packed away. Way to go, Miss Lisa. Okay, now let's see who's next. Miss Marcia, got to show her fabric beads because I'm just so proud of her. I think she's done a beautiful job, and I can't wait to see where she goes with this. So way to go, Miss Marcia. Okay, let's see now. Melanie, I wanted to share two of her. This is her binding tool star quilt she's working on. Really love that dramatic block center. Love it. And then here is her landscape quilt. And I appreciate this more and more, looking at all the layers she's got on there. That is just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Now, let's see. Whoops. Let's see where we're going. Okay. Michelle, I could not, I had to keep this quilt on, Michelle, because I have been watching Alex Anderson work on a spools quilt, and I just love yours, and I love the different fabrics and stuff you put on it, and so it keeps me inspired. Okay. Miss Nadine. Okay, now she's doing, I think it's called Sato, sewing and big stitches, and look at that. Isn't that amazing? She's such an artist, and she loves trying a little bit of everything, which to me is brilliant, just brilliant. And she is, oh my gosh, she is showing true artistic talent with the way she is setting up and painting backgrounds and stamping designs on them and filling them in. It's just beautiful. I love what she's doing. Show you a couple of these. And whoops, hold on. Here's a close-up of the one we just saw. And it's so beautiful. Look at the little light. And oh my gosh. She is so talented. And I'm so glad to hear that she was not involved with the flooding, but we are so sorry for all the dear people in Germany who lost. These are dragons on top of minarets. There's a flying dragon and this sitting. I love this. But we are so sorry for the floods that went through Germany and hurt so many people. That is just awful. I wish there was something we could do to help. And then look at her hand. I thought this was so cute. She said she's stamping on paper, but you can't, when you're an artist, you can't help but get your hands right in there. That is so sweet, Nadine. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, it looks like this is for her vaccination. Yay, Nadine. Thank you for getting vaccinated. But I'm also, look at this art. I think it's the capiche shells that I have too. And look at that. That's wonderful. It makes me want to hurry up and finish my capiche shells. All right, I think I showed you these other two. Let me see. This one, oh, that is so cute. It's like a little fairy. Look at that. All right. Well, thank you. And she does all the stamping and then the painting, and it's just beautiful. Way to go, Miss Nadine. All right. She does quilting during the winter, but in the summer, it's a little too hot in her upstairs. So, whoops, nope. This is ideas for quilt. Sorry. Okay. Whoops. Hold on. Sorry about that. That's interesting for your eyes. Okay, so now, Patricia from Nova Scotia, I get so tickled at her newest fabric collection. Hey, oh my gosh, I love those colors. Love them. Can't wait to see what she's going to do with that. All right, now let me see. Okay, Miss Polly, who came over the other day and sewed with me. It was a lot of fun. It reminded me a little bit of when Michelle and I would sew. I miss that time terribly. So she had a birthday, and her husband went and got her a little gift. Is this wonderful? Hold on to that good man, Miss Polly. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful Juki machine, and I love Jukis. That's my favorite machine. So way to go, Miss Polly. And look at this wonderful tartan plaid quilt that she's making. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So great work, and she did some great stuff to her Misty Woodland view. All right, I'm trying to look around and this is Sherry, one of our new members, and I apologize. You'll see her name listed as Sheila. It's Sherry. And look at this wonderful tote she made. And remember the court look fabrics? Isn't that amazing? I love it. She's got very good I have never made a purse like that because to me that's you'd have to have a lot of tailoring experience. And this, I forget what this was called. Arkansas Crossroads. And that's a really pretty quilt. There's that tote now from a distance. So I'm really, really tickled. This is Sheila Dietz, and there she is with one of her quilts. She's one of probably our newest member. So welcome, Sherry. Sherry, not Sheila. Sherry. Sharon Dietz, Sherry Dietz. Okay, I think I've got it right. Oh, I'm terrible at that. I never forget faces, but names elude me. Okay. All right, now, I have been waiting to see Mr. Rick's garden for such a long time. In fact, let me do something right here. Let me see slideshow. I'm going to put this on slideshow because I want to be able to sit back and look at it just like you. Look at these onions and lettuces, or that radishes or beets. I think those are beets. Then her cabbages, he's got them under protection, which is wonderful. Keeps all the looper worms and all of that stuff off. Look at that. Keeps wildlife from eating them. Those are nice, nice cabbages. Oh, look at this. Isn't that wonderful? Tomatoes and cucumbers. Dill, basil. Looks like she's got some chervil, too. I thought that was a sweet photo. Missing gardener. Look at these pepper plants. They're wonderful. There's some dill in bloom. Wonderful tomatoes. Now, one of these is the carrots that they've had to plant here. Maybe that was the carrots. 3 times they've had to plant them because they keep getting flooded out. Those cabbages are amazing. I think this was where the carrots were, and they kept getting flooded. Potatoes healed up beautifully. They should have a bumper potato crop. Look at that. My kids used to love potato digging time because it was like digging for treasures. So thank you, Mr. Rick. I tell you what, you really do work hard, hon. They're beautiful. Look, that must be squash. Boy, I bet you there's all kinds of squash in there. I love the cedars, keep giving some privacy. Oh, and there's a sunflower among the corn. Pretty good looking corn, too, I tell you. All right, I think we're back to the beginning. So thank you, Miss Susan, for giving us all of these photos. Hold on, escape. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Here is Teresa Louise. She is a new member too, and look at this beautiful quilt she is doing. That method that I learned about the cow, and look, she's using that same method with the dog, with her dog's photo. That is beautiful. Way to go. I mean, that is exquisite work, and it really is wonderful. I want to do another one of those. That was a lot of fun. So way to go, Miss Teresa Louise. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I think that now we're down to, let me get back. Ooh, I don't want to see myself that close. All right, hold on and let me get back to you. Okay. All right. Now, let me show you photos from us working at Historic St. Mary City. This is going to be fun. Okay, I showed you my Katie earlier. Okay. Then, believe it or not, this is me. And I'm not in costume, right? We didn't have enough. This was very early on when I just started there, so we didn't have enough costumes. Okay. Here are, that's me and my son, who is just 2, and my 2 daughters. And this is when I first got there and I had started making basics like shifts and shirts. Let me see if I turn that out. Can you? It still has. Okay, let me get this away. It's still showing that screen. All right, let me see. This was the very first time we ever put on costumes. And I should have had a cap on my head, but I didn't. So that I was not in proper costume. And here I'm working with Becky in the garden. And this was one of the special events we had when I first took over the job. Oops. All right. And then, yes, this is from so early on. There were some costume people. Here I am in the so-called kitchen of the plantation. It was just an open room to the weather. Here were some local dignitaries that came for, and there's a costumed interpreter right here. Let's see. Okay. Here is my family in our costumes. And, whoops. Here we all are working, weeding the garden. Okay. These are so cute. But I wanted to find some of the costumes I made. But I mean, I made a lot of this stuff at that time. But the ones that I consider my grand accomplishments, I don't know where in the world I would have those photos. And oh my goodness, I just took a bunch of them. Okay. And here are some of the costumes. There, I hope you can see that picture is rather dark. He's wearing gauntlets. That's a nice costume. And here we are again. Okay. And I love this one. My 2-year-old son, he's going to sleep too. He's going to help. And here is the militia volunteer group that was doing something. This must have been from Maryland days or something, which would have been in March. Isn't that cute? Okay. All right. They were overlooking at the petting animals, or some of the, I don't know exactly why these animals are there, but and then just one more. So that was fun. That was kind of a walking through the past. And this is a cute one of my son, who's now 35, and he loved putting everything on his head. So anyway, those are those pictures. If I can possibly find any of, like, we had a recreated person. They were able to hire a forensic artist who recreated the face of one of the coffins they opened up. The coffin was dated to 1682 or 3. And so I would love to find the bonnet that I made for her, that I did all by hand. But I don't, back then, we're talking, I worked there from 88 to 96. And back then you had real cameras and real film. And I wasn't real good at taking pictures and then getting the film actually developed. So I wish I could say I had photos of all that, but I don't know where they would be. So anyway, but I hope that gave you at least some fun sights of all of that. So, okay, I think that is it for today. Wait a minute, there was something else. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. Oh, this stuff. fall off of this. Hopefully. Oh, there's a needle on the floor. Let me grab it. Do y'all have a problem with wayward needles? I'm terrible. And one time, Mark stubbed his foot on a needle. And I was like, oh my gosh, never again. So, anyway, I made a drawing to just show the basics of the quilt and kind of give myself a roadmap of where I was going. Well, one thing I wish I had done, but I am going back and doing, is making an overlay from Golden Threads paper. And I learned this from Judy Lilly. And that way you can pin it in place, lay it over to see how you're doing. If you're putting things where you had planned, if it's still in proportion, then you lean it up while you work on the quilt some more. So this is kind of messy right now because a lot of things were just laid in, but it is coming along. And what I'm doing is blocking in color and adding layers and layers to give it some depth. So I'm just telling you this because I would love to give you this free pattern. And all you have to do is write me at my email. And I'd love it if you joined in and tried this. What we're learning in this experience is how to add depth through color, tint, layering, and how to really give it that three-dimensional effect of looking through the woodland and seeing a little pocket of sun. And the mist, we're going to work with using tulle and firstly using different shades, tints of fabric to give it that misty look, like you're looking ghostly almost. So, is Polly here? Hi, Polly. So, you won't believe it. So yesterday when I was sitting here at the Jitsi Sew and I was going through my scrap bag, look at the fabric I found. This is just what I need for that shaft of sunlight. I'm very excited. I pulled this out of that scrap bag so fast. So anyway, but that was a lot of fun. And I had so much fun sewing with Polly. In fact, we'll probably do it again soon because I'll see how this week is shaping up, Polly. But it's fun working on ours together. We, just like I found with Michelle, we bounce ideas off each other. And we help each other give that that much needed second look aspect of it. And so that was a lot of fun. So she will do it good. Miss Polly said, yes, she would do that. Oh, I do have the photos. Oh, poo. Let me see. Hold on. I do have the photos of Polly over here sewing. Yay. Hold on. Aha, I can show you. Let me turn this light back off. Gosh, I'm so glad I mentioned Miss Polly because it reminded me. I knew that I had to take photos of Miss Polly being here. So here is Miss Polly's quilt. Now it's upside down the way we're looking at it right now. Oh, good. I managed to get it bigger. It's upside down, but she is doing a really great job on her quilt. All right, let's see what else. Hold on. Let me see. Oops. Oh, no, come on. Show me this photo. Come on. Come on. Let me see if I can get all of them going. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, let me see. Oh, poo. Let me see. Hold on just a second. One way or another, I'm going to get these photos for y'all. Okay. I'm trying to get my phone going. That might help to bring the photos up. This photo came up, but that's just where I put the phone down and it took a picture of the fabric. So that's not what I wanted. Let me see. My phone is acting up. Okay, well, I'm going to have to, at least you got to see Miss Polly's wonderful quilt. Oh, poo. Well, it's having a problem. And I think I've got to go try to get my phone. I don't know what's acting up with my phone. But that will be a tease for next week to have you come back. And you know what I'm going to do? I think if she comes back, I'm going to do a little bit of filming of us so I know I've got it. But I'm sorry, it said it's not it's not connecting to my phone. And I'm having a problem getting my phone turned on. I hope my phone's not breaking because I really like it now. I never wanted a cell phone. And now that I have one, I know why you ladies like yours. So, but it's acting up. It comes on, and then it goes off. So I'm not sure what's going on. But, yep, it's already gone off again. Bummer. All right, ladies. I think, let me get back to y'all. Well, at least you got to see Polly's quilt. She was here, but I will definitely, I will definitely get those pictures showing out there. We will see it. We will. But anyway, well, thank you. I'll show you again the Crumb Quilt. I'm so excited about working on that Crumb Quilt. It is easy. I don't have to think about it. The paper piecing is so easy. So that is good. Oh, there's Patricia from Nova Scotia. Oh, no charge in the battery? Yeah, I'm wondering. Maybe I'm having a problem getting it charged. Teresa Louise, we showed your dog quilt that you're working on, your collage and your puppy collage quilt. That is lovely. So I thank you so very much. It is hot out there. Stay safe. Do something. Do a factory reset. Mark knows how to do all that. I will get him to work on that then. All right, guys, you are the best. And I will have more ruched brooches to show you when I get back. And maybe I'll try to do a little example of a ruched flower, show you what it would look like if you put it on a quilt, especially a Baltimore album quilt. So I will put the links below to how you can learn how to ruche and the Dorset buttons and the woven buttons. And I'll have a lot more of that made this week. So I will see most of you, a good number of you, Thursday night when we keep working on our Misty Woodlands quilt. And thank you so much for spending this time with me and for keeping me on my toes, excited and creating, because you don't know the difference you make in my world. And if I can share a little bit of that back with you, it means everything. I hope to get the last of the prize packages out this week, but I think of you all the time. Thank you for your support, your kind comments. If you would click the like, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I'm coming on. I'm hoping that Miss Melanie's foot surgery went well and that she's doing well. And everybody else out there, take good care of yourself. Don't forget, we have our Sit and Stitch the second and third Saturday of every month. And Miss Susan just got through doing a beautiful job with 3 in 1 month. Miss Bonnie is a great help to her. So thank you. Do something just for you. I'm going to get very busy working on my summertime crafts because guess what? This is the last Sunday in July. Summertime's, it's leaving. So I'm going to get busy and try to work on wind chimes and everything else. Take good care, everybody. You are a very big joy to me. and I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Take good care of yourself. Bye, guys. You're the best.